Hi DIYers, I'm George from Alarm Grid. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to add user codes to your Qolsys IQ Panel 2, and if you have an IQ 2 Plus, it's the exact same thing. So the first codes I want to go ahead and go over are the three main codes that come with the system: the dealer code, installer code, and master code. So the dealer code has access to change the dealer code, installer code, the master code, and any other user codes in the system. The installer code has access to change the installer code, the master code, and any other user codes. And then the master code has access to change the master code and any other user code. So if you're catching my drift here, it's kind of like a hierarchy. Dealer code is at the top, installer code is next at the bottom, and then master code is at the bottom, and then all the other user codes are beneath that. So it kind of works from top level all the way down. So normally I would recommend, if you guys have it, using the dealer code. If you guys buy a brand new panel and you guys are looking at changing codes or doing anything like that, if you want to have access to all of your codes, including dealer, installer, master, and any sub-user codes, the dealer code is going to be the one you use. Now, most of these panels, if you're buying them brand new, they're going to come with the default codes. Dealer code is going to be 2222. Installer code is going to be 1111, and the master code is going to be 1234. Now, I would say normally the installer code and the dealer codes don't really need to be changed, mainly because of the fact that you normally aren't going to be disarming the system with an installer code or with a dealer code. You normally are going to be using your master code or your other sub-user codes that you create, which I'm going to show you how to do that now. Now, the reason I'm telling you not to change the installer or the dealer code is because those codes, if you change them and you forget them and you're not monitored, you've kind of locked yourself out of the system. And then the other thing is, a lot of people are, oh, well, you know, what if somebody knows the default installer code or dealer code? Can't they just disarm my system? The way that these systems work are intended that if somebody arms the system with a master or another sub-user code, the dealer and the installer codes cannot go in and disarm the system, because then that would basically give the alarm company to enter your house at any point they wanted and disarm the system. And that's not the way that these systems are made. That's not what the systems or what the manufacturing companies want these alarm companies to be able to do, you know, since they're going in your home. So it's just something to keep in mind. Installer code and dealer code usually can stay the same. You usually just want to change the master and sub-user codes. Now, to get into these fields, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys real quick. So you're going to hit the top button at the very top of the IQ2 screen right here. You tap on that. You're going to go to settings. Now, from settings, you have to go to advanced. This is where, if you're adding a master code or any other sub-user code, you can just use your master code to go in there. If you're trying to change your dealer or installer code, then you're going to use your dealer or installer code depending on what level of access you want. I'm going to show you guys the dealer access right now. So I'm going to hit 2222, as that is my default dealer code. And then from there, you just have to go to user management. You should see, okay, let me hit the back arrow key. You should see user management on all three screens, no matter what code you type, whether it's the dealer code, the installer code, or the master code. All right? So you should see user management. Now from here, like I told you, since we use the dealer code, we can actually change the dealer, installer, duress, and the master code. And we can add any other sub-user code. So that's why mine shows all of this. Depending on what code you typed in, when it asks you for the code, you might not see dealer code, you might only see installer and up. Or you might not see installer, you might just see master and the duress, which is always going to be defaulted. But then after that, you can add any other user codes. So since I use my dealer code, we see every single code that we have here. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how to add a user real fast. I'm going to hit add user. You can enter in a name. So from there, I'm going to click on the box to open up my keypad. And from here, I will type in my name, Jorge. I'll hit the little keypad to bring the keypad down. If you want to enter in a last name, you can. I'm just going to leave that blank. For the user code, now you can enter in any user code that you want. Now, the thing is, you want to make sure you're entering in a user code that is not already in the system. If you try to enter in a user code that's already in the system, it's going to give you an error. All right, so you do need to use a user code that's not in the system. I'm going to go ahead and use 4321. All right, we'll go ahead and hit the little green button to go to the next field. Confirm user code. It's going to ask you to confirm it just to make sure you didn't make a mistake. And the type of user, you can either set it as a guest or a master. I'm going to set it as a guest code. And the expiration date. So if you actually only want to allow, users a certain amount of time for them to use their code during like a certain amount of days. So like this is very helpful if you're renting a place, if you're Airbnb-ing, which is very common now. If you're Airbnb-ing and you only want some, like the guests that are coming in to have access to the system during their stay, you can actually set up the date of where you want the code to expire. So let's say I wanted mine to expire on Monday, their checkout date, right? So this code would work basically until Monday, March 16th of 2020. And then from there you hit add user. After you add the user, you now see the code has been added. It has the expiration date. The other codes say unlimited because there is no expiration date on them. And yeah, you can go into these as well. If you wanted to change your master code, you just hit the pencil icon and you would enter in a different code. Now, real quick, the duress code. That is a code that comes with the alarm system. It's right now mine is defaulted at 9998. So if you're wondering what a duress code is basically if you're entering the home and a burglar is telling you to disarm the system, and you want to disarm the system, but you also want to set off a panic signal, and you know you're not going to be able to answer the phone when the central station calls, you would enter in your duress code, which is a 4-digit code that will disarm the system, make it seem like everything is okay, but it's also, at the same time that it disarmed, it sent a burglar panic signal over to the central station, which will then start, dispatching the authorities out to the house. So duress is really good for you guys to know in case of a situation like this. It's usually defaulted, but again, if you guys need to change it to something else that's easier for you to remember, you hit the pencil icon and you go ahead and you change it. Now, as you can see here, one thing, you cannot remove a master code, a dealer code, or an installer code. These are all hard-coded, master code, installer code, dealer code, and the duress code. These are all hard-coded codes that go into the system and they cannot be removed. So they're always going to be set to something. There's no way to actually remove them. Alright, so after we've added in the user codes, we're going to go ahead and back out to the home screen. Now I'm going to show you guys how the user code actually works. Now, for some of you guys out there, if the panel is defaulted or if you guys have the feature enabled where it doesn't ask you for a user code, when you hit the arm away button, it'll probably just arm the system automatically with a default master code. However, if you guys have the feature where it requires a code when arming and disarming, this is what you're going to see. So I'm going to hit arm away. Now it's asking me for a code. This is the normal screen that normal alarm users are used to. They need a code to arm and to disarm. So after I see this, now I'm going to use my code. Remember, it was 4321. It starts arming. I have 60 seconds to exit the house. And make sure all my entry-exit doors are closed. Now, if I want to cancel the arming, or if I want to extend it, I could do a +60. But if I want to cancel it, I hit the X. It's going to ask me for a code, and I'm going to enter in my user code again, 4321. and the system will stay disarmed. The user code that I entered in work. Now, the other real quick tip for you guys out there, if you guys are adding user codes to your Qolsys IQ Panel 2 or your IQ2 Plus, and if you guys have an active subscription with Alarm.com and the company that you're with gives you login information to Alarm.com, you can also create user codes from the Alarm.com mobile app or from the Alarm.com website. If you guys want more information on how to get access to Alarm.com, or if you need monitoring service, we also offer a lot of monitoring plans that will give you access to this kind of service and to central station monitoring. If you want to find out more, go ahead and give us an email, send us an email to support@alarmgrid.com. If you found the video helpful, make sure you hit like underneath, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit that little bell icon so whenever we upload new content, you guys get notified. I'm Jorge, and I'll see you guys next time.